Excellent. Hello, I'm Brian Reid. This is Brenda Lee. We're Horses All the Way Home, and we're here today to talk about Jennifer Oikel's Tele-Summitt series. And today's interview is with Jessica Baker. And she's going to be talking about the business of being an equine-inspired practitioner. Whether that's healing, whether that's energy work, whether that's coaching, whether that's teaching, whether that's learning, the business of it. If you are doing or are deciding to use your horses or horses in your practice of helping humans, that's a business. But every business, people think the business is out there. That's this entity that I put a label on and I brand. Jessica touches on this. She says, the essential success of any business starts here, starts with you. What do you think, Brenda? Starts inside. I like to use the word mind your own business, MYOB. Mind this business. Because this, the story you tell yourself, or the blocks you put in front of yourself, is what's going to determine how far your business goes. Jennifer will say the BS and the blocks, the self-imposed blocks that we put in front of ourselves. Yes, the blocks and the BS or the beautiful story. It's all an inside job. I just came back from Tony Robbins' Business Mastery in Las Vegas, and the entire weekend, or the entire 5-day event, was based on this. The success of any business is determined by how tight of a chokehold the owner has on their own psychology, on their own emotions, on their own spirit. So that's your work. And here's a magical thing. As you start contemplating, well, how do I do that? What you're actually going to use horses to help other people for, use your horses to help you remove your blocks so you can move towards what matters. That's number one Jessica talks about. Then Jessica talks about the 3 steps to help you in any business. First step, what is your ideal client? Here's a catch. The ideal client is someone who's willing and ready to buy now what you have to offer. The service you have to offer. Not the product, but the service. So are you talking to somebody who's willing and ready to buy? Or are you talking about the spirituality of the horse for somebody who's just trying to learn how to lead 3 people? Or when you're talking to somebody who's really looking for the spiritual connection, are you talking to them about leadership and group dynamics? So that's where the second step she talks about is once you've got your ideal client, they're ready to buy, they like your services, and you've marketed to them, as opposed to marketing to everyone and getting no one. Before I go to the second step, just a thought. Do you know what the most sold book ever is, other than the Bible, which is given away? Chicken Soup for the Soul series. Do you know how they market their business? Niches. They have chicken soup for the golf lover's soul, chicken soup for the niece's soul, chicken soup for the car driver's soul, chicken soup for the writer's soul. They niche it. They get the ideal client. Here goes Brenda's ball. I love being outside, the dynamics of being outside. So what's your ideal client? Niche it. What's your niche? What's your specialty? And get in front of those people and market to those people. What are their pains? What are their problems? What are their pleasures? What are their pressures? Identify them, solve them. Get removal from their pain, enhance their pleasures. That's your job. And using the horse to help that. Once you've identified your ideal client, what matters to them? How are you going to make transformation in that individual? So studying, how do I transform that individual or that group? How do I make a transformation happen? How do I make a healing happen? How do I make a growth happening? How do I make movement happen? And Jessica talks about writing 30 things that you can do for that specific client. And while 30 things she will mention is a lot, the exercise of really thinking about 30 things will really get you thinking about how to really help that client. Now, you've identified your ideal client. You've really focused on really clear, how am I going to identify their problems, identify their pleasures, and be there to resolve their pains and give them pleasure and so they can get movement. The third thing is, she said, don't try to sell an hour one at a time, an hour, one at a time, one session at a time. There's just not enough time in the day in your lifetime. So develop packages. 3 session, 5 session. In mine, I do 13 sessions, 13 weeks, 13 sessions. So I get people to commit so they can actually experience the growth, because where they are in the 4th week is different than the 1st week, and they're appreciating the growth. So put a program and a package together that you can present to them. And the implementation and the integration of that package to their pain removal, to their pleasure installations, is what it's all about. Now the horse has a purpose to follow. And it's your idea, it's your job when you're minding your business to get very specific to find out, how is the horse going to help this? Well, the horse wants you, not the client, you to be clear on what we're doing. You to be clear in yourself so you can listen to the messages from the horse. That's inside work. Jessica, thank you very much for packaging like that. I thought you were spot on in every single detail. Just a FYI, I've been running a remodeling business for 25 years. The reason I say you're spot on is I had to run my business in the homes, in the kitchens, and the living rooms of people. You have to find out exactly what matters to them. In their homes, as equine-inspired facilitators, we're going into their hearts. You've got to take this responsibly. If you don't, you'll be frustrated. If you do, people will see you looking into their hearts, they'll see that you care about what matters, and then if you have a plan, then your care actually becomes an actual and practical and can create movement. Because you could care all you want. If you haven't identified their problems, if you haven't been cleaned yourself and cleared yourself, then this magic can't happen. Jessica, thank you very much. Jennifer, thank you for bringing Jessica Baker to all of us, because it's our business to watch our business. If you want to know more about this interview and many, many more, go to horsesandothewayhome.com/healing, and you can download the entire Tele-Summit series for a very, very low price. This, I'm not even sure if this one's still within the 48 hours, but every interview of the remaining, I believe, 9 or 10, actually maybe 8, the remaining 8 are free. The other 22 are available for download in a package price at horsesandothewayhome.com/healing. Thank you. Mind your own business.